Welcome back. We are here with next speakers, Robert and Manfred, with a very exciting topic here. Go.
All right. Hello. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of stand-up, I guess. We've been mentioning it before. We have 25 minutes to talk. I usually say that I don't really do preparing. Like I do like slides to keep on track, just, ADHD. And
not better.
No better here. All right. So we only had 25 minutes to talk about a big topic. So let's do it. And if there's no time for questions at the end, feel free to just grab us on the way out. And yeah, we can discuss whatever.
We'll be here for the rest of the week.
It will be here for the rest of the week as well. All right. So this is me. My name is Robert. I work at Sopra Steria, based out of Oslo, Norway. I have a couple of titles. I'm a Microsoft MVP for Azure. I'm also Cloud Native Ambassador, thus the jacket. I am the co-chair of Tag App Delivery. And if you heard about the Platforms Working Group, which I hope you have since you're here, I helped start that and run that for many years. But I'm now giving over the reins to someone that's, doing a great job. And been a part of the Open Gatehouse project, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm also the founder of Cloud Native Norway, which hosts Cloud Native Day Oslo, which we had in March. We'll have another one next March. So if you want to go to Oslo in March, which hopefully ain't too cold, let me know. All right.
That's me. I don't have all of these cool titles, so I just stick with nerd. I come from the more development side. I've been around since .NET 1.1 was launched. ClickUps in Windows Azure, as it was called in the beginning, since that came along. Developer, architect, team lead now. I've been everywhere from the enterprise side to the programming sides, and I have way too many hobbies. Again, the ADHD is hitting hard. So I'll just start with giving you some background to what is actually BaneNOR, which we're going to talk about today and use as a case. And it's a lot of text, so I can make it easier for you to follow along. They operate and maintained and build railways throughout Norway. The first main line was ready in 1854. It's been state-owned since 1920s. In addition, it is actually one of Norway's largest real estate companies because they own all the stations, but also a lot of shopping malls and everything surrounding that. They're one of the region's biggest electricity provider, and they're one of 3 mobile cell providers. We're only 5 million people, so there's not room for that many. And yeah, some of the signal systems they have from the 1920s are still in operation. One of the main centrals where they kind of monitor the traffic is from the 70s. So we have an area of a lot of old technology. So where it kind of all started, when the digitization of the railway in Norway started, they established a service center where they could put all the applications they needed, mainly for like sensors and stuff like that, counting when the train arrives at the station. Needed some more applications, filling up with some more servers in their service center, and that means also that a lot of these systems are close to the railways and signaling systems, but also like enterprise applications. Which kind of means that the development speed in here has to follow along with the most secure and most locked down. And then the cloud arrives, and it's not just so we can put everything up there, because it's just a lot of connections between everything and pretty tight coupled. So that is kind of where we come in and where we start and how the digitization is going along. So just to give you a very brief background as well on how kind of the application systems services end up in our platform environment. There are some wants and needs either from the company or from the regulatory needs or anything like that. Then they point at one poor thing that gets the job of being an owner of this from the business side that kind of have to assemble their own development team. And from there, they contact us. We're onboarding them to our systems and services. We are setting up everything very automatically from our side. And then the developers are kind of ready to start developing, not being in production, but start developing on the platform. And I said platform, and I meant platforms. We are 3 platform teams. At the moment. We have the development platform, which mainly consists of some Kubernetes clusters. We have everything surrounding that in Azure DevOps, in GitHub, and yes, we are currently doing a migration. It takes time, but we're going there. We have the integration platform, which mainly consists of Confluent, Kafka, and API management from Azure, with some self-developed applications surrounding that. And we have the data platform, which provides Databricks, Fabric, Power BI, so ensuring data lineage, data quality, and stuff like that. We're mainly going into the development platform here today, but also like the integration platform with Confluent Kafka is also running Kubernetes at the bottom. And this is kind of how we are, not just kind of, this is how we are organized. We have our platform owner and 1 team lead for the 3 platforms, which is me. And then we have the 3 development teams with their own tech leads and developers. It kind of frees up their time to concentrate on actually doing the fun stuff. And for the business to have 1 contact point where they can hopefully one time in the future look at us as 1 platform and 1 contact point and 1 unified process. So we're kind of unifying our processes between the platforms as well. So BaneNOR has a complex structure, both organizationally but also technically. And we are kind of touching all the levels of the Purdue architecture, not us as a platform team, but the whole business. Talking about the Purdue model. For the ones who hasn't seen it, this is almost how it is. We can probably discuss how it looks. But we are mainly in the level 4 of the Purdue model, where we have the development platform, the data platform, the integration platform stretches up into the enterprise DMC, but also down into the DMC, down to the OT, the operational technology. And we are kind of getting to where we will, at one point, deploy some form of a development platform as well in that DMZ area. And as it comes along, we need to communicate with everything all the way down to the sensors at the tracks and everywhere, and that has its own challenges.
Yeah, so like the development platform and the other platforms there are running currently in Azure and follow the Azure landing zone convention from the Cloud Adoption Framework. And like Manfred said, we currently are on this layer where there's not a whole lot of like business critical things. There's a lot of the end user facing stuff that's happening on the platform that we host, but in the end, obviously, BaneNOR has seen that building a proper platform and doing this abstraction layer helps the speed of development and getting stuff into production. And they're even for being such an old time company with a lot of old things, they're now starting the modernization route. in terms of like signaling, which is going to be modernized, which currently is just wires everywhere, and it's going to be wireless. That needs to hit something, right? And the things that we've been doing on the development platform is now kind of getting, it's kind of like the best case scenario in many cases for the upcoming changes that are going. So it's all, like I said, it's all running in Azure, and there's a lot of variety of stuff happening, unfortunately. So the app environments itself, like I said, we build on Kubernetes. We have all these tools in place, but there's also other things running. There's Azure SQL. There's also Cosmos DB. There are, virtual networks with, private endpoints and all those kind of things. Some of these teams have app services running. Some don't have anything. They're all running on like the shared platform. So there's a lot of like, depending on the needs of the various product groups or product teams, where they kind of there's no one standard way of doing this, and this is because we have been moving into platform engineering as a whole. Going back a couple of years, there weren't any platform. Everyone was just kind of doing whatever. So this is like we are on the way. Like we're getting there. Hopefully soon.
Slowly but steadily.
Slowly but steady. The developer experience in many cases is based out of pipelines still. So for those who know me, I talk a lot about GitOps. I would prefer that everything was GitOps, but the developers are still not using GitOps. The entire platform structure is using GitOps. And the idea here is not to force this on anyone, but rather try to show them through our like shared community things and our basically public office hours type scenarios where all the benefits of doing it in this fashion to make them want to go over to GitOps, which is one of the platform engineering principles that you don't want to push something on them. You want to show them that this is kind of the right way of going. So there's a lot of, again, variety in how stuff is done. We are mostly, if not basically all over Azure DevOps, the platform team, to some extent at least. And the developers are, some teams are getting stuff on GitHub, some are still on Azure DevOps. And like I said, there's a variety of things happening. And many of them are doing pipeline runs where they basically just do kubectl apply. Again, something we want to, not do anymore. Security, since we are designing all the different pipelines, we have control at that level. We try to make the pipelines reusable and easy to use, and kind of get the security in at that level. We're also doing things just in general, promoting DevSecOps as a thing. Try to make sure that like app registries and all those kind of things are safe. All the normal stuff, like we don't allow them to just grab stuff off the internet. It goes through our internal container registries and those kind of things. But we also, we're currently talking about the SALSA framework from the OpenSSF and a lot of these things that are, being defined in the open when it comes to security. So this is kind of what the platform looks like. It's kind of hard to visualize when there's a lot of moving parts, but the application platform itself is built on Kubernetes. We only have 3 environments, but we also have an environment we have some of the common tooling running. For instance, on the platform infrastructure cluster, we have our GitHub Actions runners, fully scalable through Action Runner Controller, the Arc, one of the 1,000 things called Arc. For GitOps, we're using Flux. We are all Kubernetes people, so we just like to do Kubernetes manifests. That seems to be working. And all the common things. We have Nginx, but we also have like the Ingress application gateway Ingress controller involved as well. We have Cert Manager. We have Kyverno for policies. We do trivia scans of stuff. So like it's all like common tooling things. But again, we try to make it so that the developers don't necessarily have to think about that. It's more of they have this place to run their applications, and everything else should just be done for them. And yeah, we have a sandbox environment, which is basically a sandbox for us, more or less. That's where I do stuff and see if it breaks, which it sometimes does.
Torn down once a week and
Torn down once a week.
hope it gets up by itself.
Yeah. That has happened. It got torn down and it didn't come back up. That was someone else's fault, not me. But yeah, like I said, we have GitHub and Azure DevOps. For now, we are moving towards GitHub as a kind of like common standard thing that was approved a couple of months ago. That's the direction we're going. But again, this is going to take a while. You can't just like throw this new thing in everyone's faces and hope we want the developers to be part of the journey here. So we're doing everything slow and steady and kind of like showing how it's done by using it ourselves. So we're completely dogfooding everything to hopefully show that this is not really that hard. So yeah, automation. Automation is cool.
Automation is really cool.
Yeah. Like everyone loves automation. The thing is, sometimes it doesn't really work, or it works too well, right? Something like that.
One of the two.
We try to do things in a very agile way. That's a buzzword, right? So we have to tell the leadership that we're doing stuff agile. And like we mentioned, I have ADHD. Manfred has ADHD.
Half of the team, I think.
And I'm pretty sure everyone in our team has ADHD. So that leads to some special...
Very agile.
We are very agile. We're so agile. So we automate, for instance, releases with Release Please, tool from GitHub. Really cool. I really like it. That also means people have to write stuff in the right way and stuff like that. That's, people are now starting to get over that and doing things in the right order. But as you can see here, this is Manfred trying to do merge a pull request. And as you can see at the bottom, there's 2 out of 3 checks that passed. Turns out someone thought that we needed linting and found a cool tool that does linting. It's good to lint stuff, right?
It's useful.
It is useful. But like, what do we want to lint, right? I hadn't thought about that. So Manfred went in and checked, like, why did this fail? And it says errors found in natural language. Superlinter detected linting errors, which is a great error. But if we then look into it a little bit, so it's trying to lint the markdown file of the changelog for Release Please.
Which is a standard template from Release Please.
Yeah, so Google has written this. Apparently, they aren't using natural language. So since there was a space between bug and fixes, the entire thing failed. So those things can happen. I'm not saying don't do errors, just like don't do this one. We try our best to think through the things that we implement. But again, ADHD. So, we're a bunch of people at the office listening to music and just doing stuff and then...
Being agile.
Being agile. All right, so, our platform is based on the platform's white paper. I always have to mention this, obviously, and now we're kind of running out of time, so I don't have too much time to read. If you haven't read this, please read this. This is kind of like the entire reason why everyone's here, more or less. Start with thinnest viable platform. This was something I put in as a draft thing because I wanted to do a slide on thinnest viable platform, and then we thought this is actually the thinnest viable platform. So this is the thinnest viable slide. Thinnest viable platform. Start with what you need, not anything else, and go from there. Summary. This is us, apparently.
As Robert on his tractor. That's kind of where we are now. Next question is where we're going. We have, I think, about 40 development teams onboarded to the development platform. We have only 4 in production. So some of these has been in development stage for over a year. A lot of them are waiting for some of the big central systems. As Robert said, we have existed for about 2 years. But they do have a focus on digitization, which it's like we have support from management, we have support from the company, which is really good. But as I said as well, it is a 100-year-old company. It has old systems, it has old culture. This is work in progress. But yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, and culture change is always the thing, right? But again, we're hosting shared meetings with the various platform teams. We are talking about the things that we're doing. Every Friday we have a Friday wins or swims, as we tend to call it.
Or twins, or
A lot of variety there, where people can show off cool things they implemented, like across the different platforms and so on and so forth. So we see a lot of cool stuff, get inspired and want to show off cool stuff. And this is kind of like how we've been building this platform.
And a lot of teams are really embracing everything we're coming with. And like once a month as well, we try to gather all the development teams together in a forum and try to get some of them to talk about what they have done, which is pretty successful. What you also talked about, like we're trying to show how it can make your life a bit easier. To get some of the development teams to actually show what they have done to actually use the capabilities of the platform and how that actually makes everything easier, even if you have to change to get there. And change is hard.
Change is hard, and that's why we have people on support and Segway. So every week there's like a rotating support person. Am I on the list?
No, you're off the
okay,
list.
Good, because I haven't done any of that. So someone gets selected, become like the support person, and that's kind of like the main point of contact towards the developers. They share like the things they're facing in a Teams channel, Teams channel. And then we go from there, and obviously we try to be very open. So if there's stuff that's wrong from our side, we publicly say that, like public as Teams can be, just so people know what's going on. And that's one of like the main, I think, values that we have, where we are very open about the fact that it is a work in progress. So when people stumble onto things that aren't too great, we want to get that feedback so we know what to prioritize. So if more of these teams come to us and say, like, this is a thing we want, that's something we will prioritize when we're...
Yeah, so we don't have a development plan for more than the next month. We know what we're doing the next month. And other than that, it's based on requirements and needs from our development teams. We also see that now that they've been on the platform for longer, they actually help each other in the team channel. Yes.
So we're about at the end of time. Again, I want to just say, like, questions, anything related to just platform engineering or like how we're doing it at BaneNOR, or what we have experienced, building these platforms. Just grab us in the hallway. We'll be here all week. I will be at the Tag App Delivery booth for basically the entire conference. So when you go through like the Project Pavilion kiosks and stuff like that, I will be there.
Just don't ask him yet where it is.
I don't know where it is. It's somewhere in one of these giant things. Somewhere. Right? That's us. Thank you.